Again, very welcome and swagatam in the lecture series Research Methodology provided by YouTube channel All at One, ffbmd in collaboration with Banauli International University, Surshan Banauli, International Polytechnic College, Banauli, Khoksi and Barahi, and International Movie Research Center, Banauli, Surshan. So, in this lecture, I am going to talk about the topic that is complete focus. So, let's talk this. And the Francis Bacon said, if a man will begin with certainty, he shall end in doubts, but if he will be content to begin with doubts, he will end in certainties. So during the course of research, one should focus the mind mainly on the research work. Don't allow the personal life to interfere with research. Our life is mixed with happiness, sorrows, problems and difficulties. At any stage of life, how much happiness we had depends on how much problems we faced and how we approached each one of them, how we solved them, and so on. Most of the achievements have been made by scientists only after struggles. If we read the life history of great physicists like Einstein, Galileo, Marie Curie, Goppert, Mayer and Stephen Hawking, we can notice that they produced great works under difficult conditions of their families and their own health. Marie Curie got second Nobel Prize few years after the death of her husband Pierre Curie. When Pierre Curie died, their two daughters were in very childhood age. Marie Curie faced severe problems in her both personal and academic career, and in spite of all, she not only won second Nobel Prize but also brought up her daughters Irene Curie and her son-in-law Frederick Johart to won Nobel Prize. Maria Goeppert Mayer got a permanent job with salary only in her 50s. Till then, she worked voluntarily without salary, but she came up with a work for which she was awarded Nobel Prize. And Stephen Hawking, when he was doing PhD in the 20s, severely affected by a neuro disease. He is unable to walk, write, speak and has many health problems. But he rose to the level of one of the greatest physicists of 20th century. He is considered as the one who knows about all physics after Newton. His brief history of time became the best sold book for the more than 3 years. A researcher must be clear in his doubt. He should know what he has to find out. In order to perform the work successfully, the researcher should acquire proper training in the techniques of research. The training equips the researcher with the requirements of the task. Further, he should be clear about his task and possess intellectual insight. Then only he is able to find out the fact that would help him in his task. Make your research a part of your everyday life. Think about your research work in background mode. Ideas will come out even when you are seeing a movie, traveling to a place, sightseeing and shopping. For example, Ernst Rutherford quoted in London Times on 12 September 1933 as saying, anyone who looked for a source of power in the transformation of the atoms was talking moonshine. while walking through the streets of the central London after reading this article, as he waited for a street light at the corner of Southampton Row, Leo Szilard conceived the idea of neutron chain reaction, which then led to the construction of atomic bomb. Hans Jensen told he got the ideas of the spin-orbit coupling as explanation for the magic numbers, which led him to win the Nobel Prize. One day, while shaving, Ted Gottfried, the author of biography of Fermi, said, "Scientific research is like sports. To score, the focus of the scientist must be narrow and intense to the exclusion of everything else around him. The batter never takes his eye off the ball. The hooper shuts out everything but the court. The golfer always follows through and the scientist focuses his complete attention on the task at hand and nothing else. A young researcher should also have persistence, tolerance, and self-control over the unpleasant outcomes, such as not getting an expected result, not recognized by the supervisor, and rejection of a research article from a journal. Don't get dejected when your paper is rejected." The Professor P.R. Subramaniam, sometimes one may complete a piece of work within a week, which he might have expected to finish it in a month's time. On the other hand, sometimes one may get stuck with a particular part of the work and unable to make a substantial progress, say in 3 months. Avoid feeling remorseful at these circumstances and maintain a high tolerance for poor results. Remember that failure and wasted works are also part of the research career. Often we may be moving in a long dark tunnel, and when we find a light at the end, we rejoice over it with a sense of fulfillment. So with this, again I would like to end this topic here, and in the next topic I would talk next lecture series. I would talk next topic related to research methodology. So enjoy watching this lecture.